Hey there. Sorry, just noodling around with a couple of Neil Young thoughts, and not really sure where that came from. Sometimes I just turn on the camera without a plan and start and just play something. I hope people are playing a lot right now. We're obviously in a very strange time. It is Friday, March 20th, must be, yeah. I'm in a different spot where I don't have like a calendar or number in front of me, and it's getting easier to lose track of days. It's like, boy, every day is kind of seeming the same. I was out the other day, yesterday, must have been Thursday. Had to run out, needed some coffee from Pete's and some bird food for my birds, and um, quiet out there. But boy, people seem to be, at least here in California, where we've been at this now for about a week. Things seem pretty calm, very strange, but calm. Anyway, I hope everybody's in best of health and continues to be so. A lot of interesting things kind of going on way in the background at TG. I got a long list of stuff that I want to talk about, and I probably won't even get to all of it because I'm distracted. Actually, the first thing I wasn't even going to talk about is I guess I'm going to talk about radio a little bit because right there speaking of Neil Young, a friend of ours, family member actually, John, has a radio show on the University of Hawaii Public Radio every Sunday morning at 6 o'clock their time, 6 o'clock in the morning in Hawaii, which would be 9 o'clock in the morning here and noon on the East Coast. And he plays just really cool stuff. So if you get a chance, it is KTUH, KT University of Hawaii. And he always starts his show with sometimes obscure or unusual recording of a Neil Young song. So it's tradition, and then he always says hello to his friends and family who are listening and stuff like that. But that's one of our normal Sunday morning routines here around the house. Nani and I grab the coffee and the paper. Well, usually we're done with it by the time the show comes on. We're kind of like starting to work in the yard by then. And listen to John. But I also was listening to my local classical station, which I keep on here much of the time. And they actually just did something pretty cool. Well, right now, everybody at the station is doing their show from their home. They've set up their own little studio, sitting there. The music is sort of probably done on iPods or piped in, or it's a network thing through KUSC, a classical station down in Southern California. But the station we listen to here is KDFC, and I just stream them on the web, just like we stream the Hummer Cam. Anyway, somebody played a song that they sometimes ask people for requests and dedications and things like that, and somebody had just sent in a dedication to the staff at the radio station because they're being such a gift to everybody. Think about trying doing an arrangement of that sometime like actually planning it. Anyway, so that they were thanking the radio station for the gift of keeping the radio alive while we're all sort of stranded here at home. Boy, and speaking of which, let's go into the Hummer Cam, because we're probably a few days. I've got it up and running now, pretty much 24/7. There were a few interruptions, and it's back live now. And I always try to keep it updated on the forum. Sometimes if you if you were watching it at YouTube, it may have gotten moved, because it turns out that if I stop the stream and start it again, it gets a new location. And I had to stop it for a while because I was getting messages from my internet provider that we were like way over our monthly limit. Now, I got this first message on March 3rd that said we had, peaked out. So something is wrong there with, anyway. But now we're really using a lot of data here because I've been giving all my lessons on Skype or Zoom or different things like that, which is a different experience, but it's working out pretty well. And people have asked me about those in the past, and I have kind of shied away from it. But right now, it's a happening thing here in California and probably all over most of the rest of the world. So, and then my wife, Nani, is trying to stay in touch with her class. The schools are shut down, of course, out here. And so sometimes she's on, I think she uses Google Meet, I think, because that's what their school is set up to use, Google Classroom and stuff like that. So, the other day I was right here giving a lesson over just just around the corner. And she was online with 12 or 13 of her students, and the Hummer cam was going, and I could just see the meter going. Comcast Xfinity is going to send me a nasty bill probably, but life must go on. So, and back to the last little thing about Mama Hummingbird is that she is probably just a few days away from having those eggs hatch. So. Anyway, I'll keep everybody posted on that. I know it's not too exciting to watch right now, just watching her come and go and things like that. But, okay, let's see. What else did I want to talk about? We've gotten a lot of questions about the site and the new site and when it's going to be. Well, we've really ramped up production now, or especially in the interest of the fact that people are staying home now and binge watching stuff. What are you guys binge watching? I'd like to say about over the last month or two, I kind of binge watched the first 4 seasons again of Outlander. Just because it was getting ready for season 5. So we're now 4 episodes into season 5, and a new one comes out every Sunday morning at 6 o'clock. It's already available for streaming, for on demand. So, but that also made me think that people should be like binge practicing. What song? Don't start that one. I play that one all the time. No, wait, that's not what I'm thinking of. What's the song I'm looking for? There it is. Boy, the name was in my head. Keep in better shape. Oops. Nah, go back to the beginning. There's another one I have to get to a lesson on. Speaking of lessons that are up and coming, again, normally I don't like to make promises of things that I've got working, but here's something that will be coming up. Anyhow, with songs like that, this is a REM tune, right? I always have decisions to make. On one hand, it seems really easy. It's relatively straightforward with what's going on with it, but it also every live version is a little bit different. So, do you want the composite version, the note-for-note version, the way they did it in the studio? A lot of times, and I think one of the things that happened with Fall on Me, is there were a couple things about it they didn't like in the studio with the chords they used, and they fixed them in live versions. So the lesson on that will be more on like an acoustic live version rather than exactly what happened in the studio. So anyhow, decisions, tough problems. Of course, we've got questions about Joanne. That is another one that is coming. Mike Nesmith's tune. I think a couple of weeks ago on the news, I stumbled through a little instrumental. Let me think. What key is it in? C, right? a D minor. This is one that, like, I finished the lesson a few weeks ago, so now I've totally forgotten about it, but it is coming. So thanks for, I've been getting requests from people since I did noodle around with that a few weeks ago on the news. It is one that's coming. Willem, I'd like to say hello to all our friends in Europe. I hope that everybody's over there is we've got a lot of friends in Holland and Switzerland and England and Scotland, and boy, I see it. All of a sudden, I feel like Romper Room. Speaking of Romper Room, we've watched a couple of cool movies lately, I rarely sit through a whole movie because I feel like for 2 hours I should be playing the guitar. I guilt myself if I'm thinking about I can't start that. It's 2 hours long, but Nani and I watched A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Really cool. Mr. Rogers sort of came along after my time, but a little bit in hers, and so she always had the thing. Oh, that guy's real. That's how it really was, and stuff like that. But if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. The other one I really liked was Knives Out. Okay, enough of Neil's movie reviews. Let's see. I had something else to talk about. Oh, speaking of our friends in Europe, Willem had asked about some variations on Hesitation Blues. And that's another one of those things I want to get to. But, the idea with a lot of those songs is you just play the chord progression and try to make up something. Anyway, I might get to more of a more formal thing of of improvising around with a song like that. So let's see. Any other songs I needed to talk about? No. Oh yes, sorry. Another request. The James Taylor arrangement of Jerusalem. That lesson is in the pipeline as well too. So trust me, when we get all the ducks lined up, there'll be some really cool lessons being blasted out there. Play the beginning. Anyway, that's another one that is in the pipeline, but you might have noticed something unusual there. When you have there's a big stretch coming up there, and it almost seems like it's way too far to get. Notice I had to keep changing my body position to make some of that work. I had to keep dropping my shoulder and start wrenching things around, and I might be stuck. Oh, anyhow, sometimes you have to go to great extremes to do, I don't know, for the love of music. But so that's another one. I got rolling. I finally have, I think I mentioned this a few weeks ago, but have all 4 parts to that down exactly the way I'd like them to go, and I can almost play them all. So. Let's see, what else is happening? I think that's almost my list of stuff. Yeah, wow, cool. So let's see. I might as well end with another ragtime piece. Let's see if this is one that I've played a bunch of times before. Oh, I shouldn't even talk about this. I shouldn't even be thinking about playing this. This is not going to go well. Shut up and play. That's what happens when things get rusty. Okay, got it. Someday, a lesson on that as well. Pharaoh's Rag, John Renborn. I think that is all I have for today, and I hope I remember when I write down the text about this, about everything that I tried to stumble through and play. Let me review. We had Neil Young, we had Mike Nesmith, we had Aaron Copland. Yikes. Holy cow. Okay, binge practicing. I'm on it.